Good morning. We got Sweet Polly in. Let me know if the AV's good, Sweet Polly. Appreciate you. Going live once a week. Don't see you guys more often. I think that adds a little bit of that's a good thing and a bad thing. See too much of somebody, you get sick of them. Once a week, I think is a good schedule. Hey, Gord. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in, buddy. Hey, Laura. Laura's coming in. How's everybody doing? Got a lot of cool things I'm working on as far as my live streams go. I'm not going to say anything until I'm 100% with it. And I like the changes that I'm working on. Same goes with my videos. Discus North, good to see you, buddy. Good morning to you. Gordon in here from Canada. Discus North in here from Canada. We're all slanging and banging here this morning. As you guys know, I always enjoy spending a little bit of time with you guys on Saturday mornings. Hey, Tim, good to see you, buddy. There's Z. Good to see you. Branton, what's up going on, my friend? How are you? Appreciate you coming in. You see the thumbnail on the live stream. You see these cuts right here. That was a result of the thumbnail. I had so much blood coming down, it filled my eye socket up. Got that at work. Piece of metal. I was hammering a piece of metal and the top of it broke off and whacked me right in the dang forehead. That was fun. Because, you know, your skin up here around your head, your ears and such is so thin, it bleeds real bad. Brant's doing good. That's great. Hey, Jim's Fish. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I think going down to one live stream a week is better than my two. You won't get old. You won't get sick of my face as fast. Yeah, head wounds do always gush. You're exactly right. It's sore. It was a big piece of metal that hit me. I was hammering and a 4-pound sledge trying to get a pin out, and it broke the top of it off. It ricocheted off the piece of machinery, then came back, hit my head, and just to give you an idea of how hard this thing hit me, when it hit my head, it ricocheted off my head, and I was not able to find where it landed. I have no idea where it went. I looked all over the shop. I cannot find it. So it probably went over into halfway across Butler County in Pennsylvania. Yeah, everyone keeps saying that for sure, but I did have safety glasses on. I actually had safety glasses on and cutting torch glasses. I wear them both for this particular job I have to do. It's easier to keep them both on my head so I can swap between them. So I actually had my safety glasses on. So out of metal detector on your skin might be in your head. That's true. Need to put a metal detector on my head. Yeah, you can see it's just a couple cuts there. They don't look too bad, but man, you talk about blood. And I realized I didn't schedule my live stream, so I had to hurry up and make this 15 minutes before it started. So that was the only recent picture I had, so I threw it on there. But it was a topic of the live stream so far, so that works. Everybody got their coffee. So isn't that Foxy auction thing happening like right now and yesterday? I know that Jeff was doing a live stream about it. And about 40 of you guys on there watching it. I don't know if that's continuing in today or what. Been very busy. Haven't been online a lot. Had a lot going on. You just created your fish room. You just created your fish room punch card. Oh, with the thing. Appreciate you, Brenton. Thank you, sir. And Tim. So my intro, I took the automatic intros off because every time the music played, YouTube saying, hey, you're doing revenue sharing. I don't know how that revenue sharing works. I don't know if it affects how much money I make or if it's just sharing, taking a portion of it. I don't know how much. So I took the music off and just have sound effects. It's not as engaging, but I don't want to share my revenue with with the other YouTube creators. If anybody has any information on how that works, let me know. Brent, I saw that short you put out on that light. You did a really good job editing that video. I really like what you did there. It was really cool. So shout out to Brent for that last short he did on it, light. I got a pair of peacock gudgeons yesterday. Very cool. Very cool. I'm a fan of the cichlids. Everybody knows that. Most of my fish room is cichlids. Now I got them all. I got tetras. I got barbs. But most of them are cichlids. It's kind of hard to get away from unless you specifically do not buy cichlids. And even then, you got to know what you're buying, because some of these fish are cichlids and you don't even know it. So unless you really know your fish, you're going to wind up with cichlids in your fish room. Hey, Cecil, good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Finally getting a YouTube paycheck. I didn't make it last month. I made it this month, thanks to you guys and your super chats on my last live stream and such. And my older videos, I changed some settings in my studio. Some of my older videos now are getting a lot more traction, so that's helping with the watch time hours as well. So in combination with the videos and things like that, and mostly that comes from your guys' support as channel members and your super chats. So finally getting a YouTube paycheck this month. Should be dropping soon. They give it to you anywhere from the 21st to the 23rd. So looking forward to that. Now on Restream, when you want to do this ticker across the bottom, you can fit a lot more messages in there. When I was doing Restream, I was able to put every single channel member and have it scrolling across there. That was nice because it was much easier to change as your memberships change. But with StreamYard here, I think you only get up to like 200 characters or something like that. And I just simply cannot fit all of the YouTube channel members in here as a constant thank you to you guys, because I believe that's deserved. But I just can't fit them all when using StreamYard. But StreamYard, however, is a much better streaming platform than Restream. I'll have to bring it up over here to check on that, Branton. It was the one you did about a light. It was really cool. I think, yes. Yep, that's the one, Brandon. You did a really good job, and I like how, like, right when you had the light standing on end, you flipped it like 180 real quick. Really cool. I like how you put that together. You did a good job. That is the short. Amazon issues with setting up the Fluval 306 for the 25-gallon hose and fitting should be here later this week. Glad I have a stash of Aquaclear, 53 of them. What do you mean Amazon issues with setting up the Fluval 306, Tim? I got a 306. Love it. 306 is my oldest canister filter, and it's still running strong. I did have to buy some new hoses for it because I transferred those to a 407 that I was using, believe it or not. The setup on the 306 will transfer over to the 407, but the 407 Aquastop valves and hose will not transfer to the 306. But it does work the other way around. A little tip for you guys if you didn't know that. Hey, pal, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in, my fellow Aquatic News Network co-worker. They've been treating us pretty good over at the Aquatic News Network. Tommy's running that. He does a good job. I do seem to get the short end of the stick over there. They send me all the crappy equipment, and they're constantly making fun of me. So if you see the videos on there, that's what that's about. A little bit of disgruntled employee with me, but everyone else is treated pretty good except for me. So just letting you guys know I get a little abuse over there. Hey, Jody, mother effing P. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. Jody's been busy lately coming in and out of live streams. Got a lot going on. So hopefully maybe you can relax this morning, Jody P. I know she's got her coffee. Pile's heading out to help someone relocate a Western Diamondback rattlesnake. Ew, in the heavy rain. But I think you enjoy that. Pile is our local. What's that guy's name? It used to be under Steve Irwin. Pile is our local Steve Irwin. Not local for me, but does a lot of good work. recently helped, and I think he talked about it in that live stream he was on, where he helped some people that were dehydrated in the hot heat. They had to rescue a couple people. Love what you do, Pile. Oh, Jody P. What's the matter, Jody P? You sick? Not feeling good? Didn't know about that. Laura, stupid phone. What do you guys got going on this weekend? And for anybody who's in the mood, you're more than welcome to come up and join me on chat. Right there's the link. Just got my coffee hitting good this morning. About to fire up some bacon. That sounds real good, Branton. Real good. JDP, you didn't answer me. Why weren't you feeling good? You were sick or something? What's going on there? Tired, headache? Uh-oh. There's my Aquatic News Network boss. Make sure you don't go back a few minutes, Tommy. I was talking crap about my treatment on the Aquatic News Network. Do have another fancy goldfish I'm fighting bloat with. The dang fancy. I don't have any problems with fish other than fancy goldfish. And when these guys go, I probably won't get any more. If I do get goldfish, it's gonna be regular goldfish. These fancies are cool. They're by far the prettiest, the cutest, you name it, but they are sensitive. I got a bucket. You can probably see it if I move behind me. I pull her out, and give her a half hour Epsom salt baths, which I found to work for bloat better than anything. Tommy says, all good if we can talk crap to each other. That's right, Tommy. Pal says, today I'll probably look around for a new location to find threatened species here in Texas. The Brazos water snake. Man, I don't like snakes. Tim says, I'm attending the East Tennessee Aquatic Association on May 3rd, the aquatic market and auction. That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I actually like snakes better than certain spiders, but I generally try to just stay away from the snakes. I leave them alone. I don't like to kill anything. The only time they might have to, be taken care of is if they're in the house or like in my screening enclosure. But even then, the last time we had a snake in there and they're just stuck. They don't want nothing. They was just stuck in there. It was just a harmless black snake. So I just took some water and with the hose and sprayed him. Not, just to kind of guide him to the entrance. And he got out. That's going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee. Snakes is missed out. And they are. Yeah, for sure. They're just living life like you and me. They're just a squirrel trying to get a nut, trying to live, trying to survive. They really don't want nothing to do with humans. Like most things, they really don't want a lot to do with humans. It was just we run into each other every once in a while. That don't mean we need to grab the shovel and chop their heads off. I don't like to kill any living thing. I always feel sorry for anything that's suffering, and I try my best to save them no matter what it is. You're talking to a guy that saved a fly from drowning in a toilet. And I think that's just because I almost drowned when I was a child one time. It was very close, and I know the feeling. So it sounds weird, but even a fly in a toilet, I'll save. I'd much rather step on it and kill it than let it drown. Now, cockroaches, like I said, I don't like to kill anything, but if cockroaches, they got to go because they just multiply and they ruin everything. They stink. They got to go. Yeah, give me some. Yes, I do, Branton. Just give me some time on that. I gotta, like I said, when I started the stream, I got some things. I'm changing some things, moving some things, making some things happen. I do want them. Just give me a minute. You said they can be territorial to each other, males, but it's not so bad if they're in a bigger space. So right now, I'm pretty sure I could put one of them with my tiger barbs in a 55 gallon, right? That'd be okay. I can put one in the 75-gallon here. That's 2. I don't know if he'd be okay with the Oscar in this 55-gallon. Let me know your thoughts on that. I feel like the Oscar might mess with him. He's the only one in that aquarium. He'd be very new. And then I got a 20-gallon long up there I could put him in. There's just Cory cats in there and such. Perfect response. That's what we tell people to do. Yeah. We don't need to kill things instantly just because we're scared or we have emotions toward it. I always go into those kind of situations. This is a living thing. It's just trying to live life like we are. Maybe there's an even spiders. Spiders are probably the thing I hate the most, but I won't kill them. If they're outside the house, then you do your thing. If you're in the house, I have one of them grabbers with a brush. I'll pick it up, take it outside. Now, if it's a dang, which we have black widows around here, and they're a little too close, they got to go. But if they're outside, I still almost don't like having them around because of my dogs and stuff. But there's a certain way to treat everything. Okay, I will do Brandon. Hey, Jim, good to see you, buddy. I know Jim called me yesterday. I didn't have a chance to pick it up or call you back. I apologize. Didn't know what you needed or wanted there. Same with Garcia. He called me. Jim Garcia called me, and then I don't know, maybe an hour or so after you called me. When they get bigger, they can live with an Oscar. Make sure he has a cave. Oh yeah, I always make sure my plecos have caves for sure. But I got tanks for them, man. So I do want them. But I mean, if you're good, I'll get them off you now. Like I say, I can put one in a 20-gallon long. I can put one in that 75 with some angelfish. I can put one in the tiger barb tank. I told you I wanted 4, I think. Let's just do 3. I'll get 3 off of you if that sounds good. And I'll make sure you send me your PayPal information. Hey, Eyeball, good to see you. There's Patty's Aquatics. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you coming in. Patty's Aquatics is doing a lot of good videos over there. Lots of uploads. Putting out a lot of content lately. Now we'll see if Whip makes it into this live stream. I was messing with him last time I was on my live. I was saying about Whip not coming in. I saw him on a live stream directly after. Yeah, you were working. There's my alien brother. He's in there. Okay, that's fine. My PayPal is my. Okay, I got you, Brenton. Yeah, he's in here. Hey, Benjamin Peters. What caused your head to leak? So I was at work and I was had a 4-pound sledge. I was doing my normal thing, working on an electric pallet jack, pounding out a pin. Well, the top of the pin happened to break off on this one, and it when I hit it with the force of that 4-pound sledge, it broke off, hit the jack, ricocheted, hit me in the head, and then when it ricocheted off my head, I don't know where it went. It's gone. It hit me that hard. Who knows? But yeah, a piece of metal hit me pretty good there. It happens. I've been getting hurt for freaking years. I've been in the electrical, mechanical, and hydraulic maintenance field for years. It's not my first. It's not my worst. And it's certainly not going to be my last. Yeah, I had my safety glasses on. So we were all good there. Super Jody P. I haven't seen it yet, but this will be the 3rd time I've asked you. Somebody said, I hope you're feeling better. And I was asking you what was wrong. Why were you not feeling good? I don't know if you ever replied to that. But why was Jody P not feeling good? Yeah, don't forget the link was up there. If anyone wants to come up and chat with me, I'll put it in here again. You guys are more than welcome. If not, that's okay too. Dang, I'm glad it wasn't working. Yeah, me too, Benjamin. Just had a cold, but it made my face super poofy. Oh, okay, I got you. I'm glad. Are you sure? Do you have allergies, Jody P? My wife has some allergies. That's one cool thing about me. I don't have allergies. Any known allergy that I know of. I was just mowing 2 yards. I think it was Thursday, and just all kind of dusts, all kind of dust. There's pollen everywhere right now, and I'm just in this cloud of dust and whatever, God knows whatever, and I'm fine. But I got filthy, but I'm fine. So there's some people that just can't do anything like that without one wearing a mask, or if it's bad enough doing it at all. So I'm grateful to not have any allergies. Go okay, good. Yeah, I can walk through poison ivy, and as the leaves can touch me, and I will be fine. Now, if I break that open with a weed whacker and the actual oil gets on my skin, that's a different story. Hey, Skitty Nona, anyway, Aquatic Life, good to see you. Love the name change. Name change. Two plus I have asthma, so the dust would mess me up big time. I got you. Yeah, it was a lot of dust. God knows what's in that dust outside right now. I know there's a lot of pollen, but just never had issues with allergies or things bothering me. We got Happy Place. Hey, buddy.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see you, pal.
Same here. Same here.
Jim rocking those nature videos, enjoying life, getting out.
Ain't the only thing Jim's been rocking, but we'll have to talk about that in private. Anyway, I have got to figure out a way to do a bunch of videos here. I need some watch time hours.
Live streams, brother.
I am just about to see me lose monetization. So you guys might be looking at my 125 and my 240 and stuff for a bunch of hours a day.
Yeah, I don't know if it's changed, but when I was first trying to get monetized, we've talked about it before. I was doing, and I even made a thumbnail for it, your daily aquatic dose. I was doing live streams for 10, 12, 15 hours a day. And that's what actually got me to my 4,000 watch hours and why I have ads. But I think you've tried that a couple times and it didn't turn out. But anytime I did those live streams, especially vertical, so it'll go in the shorts feed, I was getting 30 to 50 watch hours every time it streamed. So it was best. I don't know what it's like now, because that was like 2 years ago. Hey, Pete, good to see you, buddy. So live streams is all I can tell you. Live stream, and do it through your short speed.
I guess I'm.
But no, I was doing it regularly too, horizontally, and I was bringing in decent watch hours that way too. And it's a mix. Some people hate it, some people don't. So I was just alternating. One I'd do horizontal, and then I would probably add in the free StreamYard music, and then the other one I would do vertical. Just alternate to get the best of both worlds.
I will definitely have to do that.
That's what I did, man. Like I say, but that was 2 years ago. I don't know if it works, but I imagine it would. What's nice too, man, is if you go through the YouTube app and do it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're done, it gives you that summary when you hit end stream, and it'll tell you right then and there how many watch hours times you got from it. I find that to be a useful tool.
I got 9 watch hours yesterday from like a 3.5 hour stream.
9?
Yeah.
Was that vertical or horizontal?
I think it was horizontal.
Yeah, try that vertical next time. Put it in the shorts feed. Because let's face it, most people like doing this.
They like to scroll quickly. So what's the status on your wife beating you up and causing your forehead to bleed, man? I know you told everybody it was a sledgehammer incident, but that's not what I was told.
Yeah. That I did. Full disclosure, that's true. My wife did hit me in the head with a baseball bat. She had enough of my instigating. I was instigating her one day. She was trying to cook. She wasn't in a good mood. She had just got some new pots. I ruined the pot. Hit me in the head with a baseball bat. She would have used the pot, but she didn't want to ruin the pot. It was brand new,
Man, I hate that when you're working on something and the piece you're like, swinging at pops off and smacks you in the head. I hate when that happens.
In 8 years, that's the first time that's happened. I don't know why. It happened. Bam, 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 broke off. Poof. That was fun.
Well, I was taking struts off of a Dodge Caliber. I had a box wrench on one side of the nut. I had an impact on the other. The wrench, come completely out of my hand, come back and smack me right here.
Mm-hmm.
Blacked my eye. I walked around and was like, man, this is going to be fun. Mark the Spider guy.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming in. I found them a while back for him, and he gets together with a bunch of people when they all got reptiles from Spider. He's got a ton of spiders, and he's been coming in ever since.
Yeah.
I was installing rock guards on a 175C front end track loader years back. I was wrenching the bolt down, and the wrench slipped off, hit me in the mouth, cut my tongue. And that bled like pee. But the good thing about the tongue is it heals pretty fast.
It does. It does. So, any news on that 300 gallon leaving your fish room?
Not yet. I've had another guy interested. We've been going back and forth. He wanted to give me 600 for it. I said, you know what, man? I was like, I can do 700 because I'm asking 8. I bought it for 8, right?
Yeah.
That is the reduced price for this aquarium. It did not come with lids. I made acrylic lids for it. And I've already got all the silicone dug out in the inside. So I think what he was wanting to use it for is the glass to fix. He has a 300 just like this one. It's just not Euro braced. And I think he wanted it for the glass to either repair his or take a piece of his to repair this one. And I said, well, $800 is the reduced price for this aquarium, man. But I'll tell you what, I'll do 700. We haven't heard back from him. So yeah, I need to get it out of here because once it's out of here, I can fix this stand up and get it ready for the new one coming. So it's on there. What's that?
So I'm waiting to see the new one.
Yeah. Well, that'll be end of July, beginning of August, just because the guy is building tanks for so many people. I'm that far in line. So yeah, I'm excited about it, but it gives me time to get this tank out of here. And get the stand ready because I am going to take a layer of blocks off because I'm going to build the wooden base for it properly where I'm going to stand the 2x6s up one end, build the actual frame and then put a nice piece of 3/4 inch plywood on top. But because I'm standing the 2x6s up, you're gaining 6 inches in height. So I'm going to take a layer of blocks out, then build it, get the plywood on there, get it leveled up. And I want to be prepared before it shows up.
It's always nice to be prepared.
Yeah, and I'm just going to filter it with 2 FX6s, which I've already got. One I got brand new off a local guy that gets them cheap. And then the other one just needed a motor. I bought a new motor for it. I mean, the motor's still expensive, but it's better than buying a new one.
I need it. I understand that.
So I've got the sand. I've got the filtration. I've got the lighting. I got the stand. I'm just waiting for the tank now.
I need I've got an FX6 that the motor went out and I need a motor for it.
They're expensive, and you can't get them anything else than $100 and some.
Yeah, she pumping slow. I mean, she'll pump, but she pumps slow.
Mine was doing this thing where it was just making noise, and so I tore it apart. I cleaned it up. It wasn't even dirty. Put it back together, and it would not turn on back after that. I mean, that motor is more than just your motor. That's your brains of the canister filter too. Everything's housed within that. So, it's got that smart where it stops and purges every 12 hours or something like that. All that's housed within that. That's why it's so expensive.
I know when I did the maintenance on the 240 the last time, everybody's like, oh, your FX6 stopped. I said, nah, I'll start again in a minute. Give it a second.
Yeah.
And then boom, there it went.
Self purges. I like, and I love I'll tell you what, I've never had an FX2. Their newest ones they come out with, which are cool, but I don't know. I would be more apt to have a 407 than an FX2 on a smaller tank, I think. Now, I realize in the FX2, you're going to get more media there, a little bit more. I don't know about power, but I think these 407s are a little powerhouse of a canister filter, easy to maintain. I really like the 407s and the 306s.
Yeah, my life's going to get a lot easier once I get that sump underneath of that 240.
Yeah, that's something I've never been one to try. I've wanted to dabble in it. I'm told they're awesome, but I don't know how. I understand the basics of a sump. I understand how to plumb them. You can use a freaking 75-gallon, 55-gallon, 40-gallon breeder as the container, right? Just get some filtration and get a pump, right?
Yep.
But when the power goes out is what gets me. What happens when the power goes out? How do you get the balance of in versus out with the water flow? Like that trouble I was having with that fish waste collector. I realized my pump wasn't strong enough with that, but over time pumps slow down. And then you're going to have to adjust, I would assume, with valving or something. You got to get that happy medium. And then what scares me is what if the power goes out and the bitch just sits there and drains and overflows, and I'm not home. People use them. I know that there's safes against this. Obviously, it works, but I've never trusted them.
That's why you leave your sump tank like that far down.
Right.
And then where your overflow is, you make sure it only goes down like an inch lower than what it is, so you don't fill up the sump. And once it fills to that point, it stops.
Okay. And it hit the overflow and then just drain down in. But where does that go when the overflow?
As soon as it hits the sump. Yeah, that's why you leave the sump lower. It'll take the amount of water that if in fact the power goes out, it'll make it only to where your pipe, that's your intake pipe. It will only go to where that is where it's set at in the tank.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know how they work, and I've never got into them. But they are nice. I mean, no chart cars with the king of filtration. I get it. You can put your heater down there. You can even put plants like Water Sprite down in there and turn it into a refugium. And they do a lot of filtration and add more gallons to your aquarium. So let's say you got a 300 gallon. And you put just for lack of a number, a 40-gallon breeder down there as a sump. I know I don't probably want one bigger than that for a 300. Now you have 340-gallon aquarium, technically, per water volume. So you get more water volume, you get more options and things like that. Are they a better filter? Do they actually filter the water better than, say, an FX6? I don't know.
I believe they do.
Is that
so for my 240, I'm going to use a 40 breeder as the sump. It was either that or a 55. I think I'd rather use the 40 breeder because I actually hate that footprint of a tank. Everybody loves that footprint. I can't stand it. I mean, I have two of them, and I've got convicts in one and some other things that people don't know I have in the other. So the one that's got the convicts in it, their convicts are going to get evicted, and I'm going to put it down there. But you can, like you said, you can put 100 times more media in that tank.
Well, that's my question, though. That's great that you can put more media in there, bio balls, whatever you use, bricks. But you're only going to have as much media as the load you have in the tank. So your biomedia is like an expandable rubber band. It expands and contracts the size of the load it has to deal with. It's not additive. So you can have 100 times biomedia in it, but if you got 6 fish, you're not getting actually that as extra biomedia. So what's the point?
A sump is a sideways canister filter.
Basically. Right. Bigger though, depending on the container.
Me and Disc North are on the same page.
I'm not what's the word? I'm not knocking them. I think they're cool. And it's something I have wanted to try, but I never understood the point of having all this biomedia and something that it's kind of like taking a supplement. Any supplement you take, you're only getting actually 60-70% of it. The rest of it goes down to the toilet.
Yeah.
The same thing. You can have 100 times biomedia products in a sump or a canister, but you're only going to have as much load is equal to it. So I never understood the point of having extra biomedia.
So that's like
take it out, start other tanks.
It's like me with my sponge filters, dude. I seed all my sponge filters in my goldfish pond.
Right.
So
You're not
they do their thing.
I'm just gonna say hi.
Oh. She's just saying hi and leaving today.
Well, hello.
The fact that
Make sure you pick on your dad as much as possible, okay? We approve that. You're allowed to.
maybe I'll buy some next time, like a sample of this. In a sump, you can create anoxic zone and gas off nitrates. Well, how does that work? Tim says hello.
Hi.
In a sump, you can create anoxic zone and gas off nitrates. Why can't you do that right in the aquarium? Sean. Zini says, I'm actually redoing a paludarium better. Hopefully, we probably go back to breeding them. I've got a better gene pool. I got you.
That's like, speaking of gene pools. So, for the people that breed fish out there, have you ever had a successful first batch from a first time mom? I have not.
I've never got that far. I don't breed, but like my angels that I raised themselves had babies, and of course they got eaten up by the other ones. I think they were trying their best to keep them back. But all the other fish that I've had successful babies with were fish that commonly breed easily. Mabuna, angelfish, and convicts. They're going to breed. You're going to get babies with them. But I don't know about that. Yeah, because I've read and they said new parents usually take a few times to get it right. They don't eat their own babies or whatever. Is what you're talking about, right?
Well, no, I had my my natural blue Acara. They spawn. I got a whole mess of fry, and they have been the weakest fry that I've raised so far.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering if it's a genetic thing.
And I'm sorry, what fish were those?
Natural blue Acara.
Okay.
So
you're trying to get him coming back again?
No, that would be the electric blues that I don't have any of. I only have two, actually. I lied to Mystic Pets yesterday.
Oh. Electric blue versus natural.
Natural blue. I told her I didn't have any electric blues left. I actually have two.
I think Sean. That makes sense.
People have way more filtration than they need. Only some with large overstock cichlid tanks need a large filter like an FX6. Yeah. I would like to see somebody take a tank like my 240 that has the Oscars and all those big fish in it. I'd like to see them, do that with one canister filter. Or maybe, some sponge filters. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I was agreeing with Pyle there for the most part. Now, in my experience, I'll say this. I had an FX4 running my 125 when I first got it with my two Oscars in it, and it did fine. But you moved that to a different tank, a 75, when I got an FX6. What I have noticed is, for the best example I can give you, is my 75-gallon overstocked Mabuna tank you guys seen forever. That was filtered by an FX4. Well, as they kept having babies and it was getting more overstocked, I had to add an AC110 hang in the back for extra filtration because the water was getting yellow. It was getting nasty quicker and quicker. I had to add the extra filtration. It wouldn't keep up. So in your case, you got that same situation in your 240 with all those big fish in there. I don't see one FX6 keeping up with that in the same aspect as the FX4 with the Mabuna tank and a 75-gallon. Now that they're in a 125, by the way, I had to start upping my water changes every 2 weeks instead of monthly too, because even with both filters, it was getting yellow. Now I'm testing this out in the 125. There and there, it's filtered with one FX6. So far, so good. Now that I got more water volume, right? But when they start having babies, you're going to have the same issue, and I'm going to have to add filtration. So I agree with you to a certain extent, Pyle, but I also agree with Jim, and I think Pyle understands when it gets more and more fish, more overstocked. If you don't lower the stock, you've got to get more filtration.
And that's another thing people don't understand about cichlids. You have to overstock a cichlid tank. You really have to, or you're going to have a lot of aggression issues.
Yeah, and it's pretty peaceful. They dart after each other every once in a while, but I don't. The most aggressive fish I have is angelfish out of any of them, and they don't never quit. They're always going at each other. And Sean says, I think you can't have too much filtration. You need redundancy. That's all right with the typos. More filtration, the better, as long as it's not a whirlpool. Right, right. Plus, if one fails, you have something to fall back on. That's one of my big things with it. Filters fail, flow slows, and so on. More than one.
More than one filter will save your fish.
Yeah. And even as backup, I'm always running sponge filters. I always have sponge filters going, whether I want to cycle a tank, cycle a quarantine tank, or you never know, maybe my canister filter fails and my hang on the backup. I can always toss one or two sponge filters in there. As long as that pump's running, she's going to work.
Hey, by the way, I see P-tags in here. P-tag, where's my sticker at, man? I see, Tommy got a sticker. I'm pretty sure Jesse's got a sticker. I never got one.
I got a sticker. I got a sticker from Pile too. Sent me 2 of them. Now, the reason why I didn't have to pay him for those plants is because he done sent me this.
Nice.
I don't do snakes. So
I don't like nope. I'm not a nope rope fan. That's what I call snakes. Nope ropes. Nope.
I'll tell you what's cool. Jody P sent me stickers too. They're blingy.
Those are
I got
pretty
a sticker
bling.
box here. Now,
You'll get a couple of stickers when I send you your fish.
oh, did you get stickers made?
Somebody had them made for me and sent to me.
Oh, that's cool. That's got to be Mystic.
Yep,
She be taking care of you, bro.
she does.
Mystic.
She got me my when I did that live stream one night, my USB hub failed. She bought me a USB hub.
She be taking care of you, dude. Mystic's great.
She's a great person.
She sent you that banner. I had to buy
Banner?
mine. I was like, where do I rate? Lower than Jim.
That was my Christmas present from her.
Yeah, that's cool. And them banners are nice.
Real nice.
Tommy's been dealing with car shit this morning. Yeah, I got a sticker from P-Tag. I thought you got some already. I always have them with me in my wallet. Sorry, man. Next time, remind me.
Just
Smell it
lost
to
my
him, bro.
The Brandon's got a sticker too. Awesome. I'm a sticker whore. If you go and look at the 240, I started adding stickers. I've got Mexicali's on there, Mystic Pets is on there, Jesse's on there. I put one of my own on there just because I can. So we'll go back to my 240. So I have if you've ever looked at my tank, there's 4 canister filters on my 240,
Yeah,
along with 2 wave makers. So I've got the wave makers on each corner pointing towards the middle where all the intakes are. And all the flows are just spread out, you know what I mean?
Right.
That thing it's probably got 1,000 gallons an hour rolling through it between everything.
Did you ever have anything sitting on the bottom?
No.
See, I'm the same as you. With my bigger tanks, I always do the canister filter, and I always have at least one power head running, depending on fish. But usually I'm using a power head, and I put that power head on the same side the inlet is. So when it goes over and comes back, anything it's going to take with it is going towards the inlet. I still get crap laying on the bottom. Now, if you don't have any rocks or decor blocking the flow, more of that will get picked up. But then I've even tried putting another power head at the bottom on the other side to keep stuff stirred up, because I've got 2 consistent tanks that I'm always having to suck crap out of. The 125 Oscar tank and that 20-gallon long up there with the Cory Cats and the Polar Blue Tiger Parrot. Always, if you don't get it up, they get fungus on it, right? But even with that big power head in there and the FX6, there is always crap on the bottom. I can't get it, so I got to go in there and suck it out regardless. So I don't know how you just must have so much flow in your aquarium, nothing has a chance to sit, and that's not a bad thing.
It doesn't have a chance to sit. I love that thing.
You know how he is. He's been out.
Take your time, Mark. I'm in no hurry. I know you're good for it, brother.
You can if you want to.
But he's been out.
He's been out. He just wants to get out because Miss is in heat. So I got a lab in heat. It's driving all me nuts with the male dogs
Oh God.
dripping all over the place. I went and got diapers yesterday. Size 6. They're too small. I'm gonna go get some size 7 diapers and put her. She drips blood everywhere she goes.
Why don't you get her fixed?
We were going to get her fixed, but then we are looking at her age. It's like too late now. Why spend the money? Female labs have a lifespan of 12 to 13, 11 to 12 years or something.
Uh-huh. How old is
And
she?
how old is Miss? She's like 9 years old now.
Oh, jeez.
So go at this point, go get her fixed at 9 years old. Why spend the money and just leave her be? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I couldn't get my girl dog.
What's
I
that?
couldn't get my girl dog fixed until she was 6 months old and she went through her first heat cycle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. And actually, they say if you wait too long to get a female dog fixed, that can cause a problem. But Mrs. had babies before. So it's not like she's never had babies, because I think that plays a role in it. Where if you have a female dog and they've never had sex and they've never had babies, that can cause a problem. But I think if they've had babies, I think that's a little different or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I lied to him. She never went into heat. I just got her fixed.
No, I got you.
I
Yeah, I
wasn't
don't
going
blame you,
to-
man, because I got 2 male dogs, and it doesn't seem too bad this time, but the last time was, every time before it was horrendous. The whining, they stop eating, they get skinny, fussing, whining, barking. Oh my, they won't leave her alone. Oh my God, it's horrible. So I put a
Typical
diaper
male.
on her, dude.
Typical male.
The diaper contains the blood, and it does keep the males off her a little bit more. It doesn't keep them off her, but it helps.
You know, I'm going with Discus here on this. Discus North, he said, they say Discus need calm waters. Total lie. They also say you can't run a Discus tank on just sponge filters. Just sponge filters. The average person has way more filtration on just their little bitty community tank.
Yeah, where's that at? I can't find it.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm looking for what you're saying. Exactly, flow is king. Rivers flow not bad. So what he's saying is a discus need calm water is a total lie. All mammals live longer after they're fixed, even humans. Okay. On the flip side, the large breed dogs is recommended to wait until they are around 2 years before being spayed and neutered. Doing it too early can cause arthritis issues. And I think labs are prone to arthritis. Anyway, I know last checkup, Miss had a little bit of arthritis. But for 9 years old, we feed very high quality food. The Science Diet, Hill's Science Diet.
Yeah.
They look great, packed full of energy. 9 years old, running around like a champ. Longest dog I have ever had was my Jake. He was a half lab, half pit mix. He lived to be 14.
My dog's birthday was this past Monday. She turned 11. She is a American Bulldog Pit Bull mix. And this is what I noticed, man. When you get dogs that are mixed, like mixed breeds, they seem to live longer because they don't get none of the bullshit of the full breed of whatever dog. Like typically pit bulls have, back hip problems and back knees. She doesn't have that. American Bulldogs have spine issues. She doesn't have that. She's the length and the height of American Bulldog, but looks just like a pit.
That's neat. Maybe I got lucked into something cool there with the mixes. That's true. Because I think, what is it? The Great Danes have all kinds of like hip issues and stuff because they're so tall or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever try this stuff, Jim? I got these to try it out.
What do you got? No, never used it.
This is in here is it's ideal for catfish, arowana, Oscars, and other large cichlids, but it's got a mix of mealworms, river shrimp and dehydrated mealworms. Now, the Dempsey and the Oscar seem to really like the mealworms. I've tried river shrimp in the past. My fish do not like river shrimp, but they do like these mealworms.
My all of my fish eat, the majority of the time is extreme. My Oscars eat Hikari, and my goldfish eat Northfin. And then some of my smaller community fish are Fluval Bug Pro, or not Bug Pro, Bug Bites. By the way, dude, that freaking Bug Pro, my Akara loved the Bug Pro by Northfin. I mean, absolutely love it. They color up with it. It's great.
Yeah.
Most big dogs get hip dysplasia.
I made a mix that I feed all the fish. It's just a mix of Northfin Foods and NLS. They all love it.
I know. I got that mix you sent me. I just finally finished it off. That 2.5 gallon bucket.
Yeah.
Just finished it. Uh-oh. We got to get you a chair, homie.
I need, because my streaming area is much taller now, right?
Yeah.
I need one of those bar stool type office chairs that sit up higher. But I've never been one to sit too long. I get antsy. So, but what's cool is I can stand up, and that's just fine. This is all adjustable. Get off my butt. Feels good to get off my ass. So what I did is I got this other 2.5 gallon bucket with just a mix of Northfin flakes. All of Northfin's flakes are mixed in here. And I am almost empty, but I got one of each to put back in it already.
Nice.
And then, now that mix I sent you was special because that just didn't have Northfin in it.
It had all kinds of shit in it. Extreme,
Omega 1, NLS, everything was in that bad boy. Now, if I was to get a fish food on a budget, and I would go with NLS is a better fish food than Omega 1 has by far better ingredients. Omega 1 is a decent fish food. I think Omega 1's like here, NLS and Northfin, in my opinion, are very comparable. So what I've been doing is mixing NLS with Northfin foods just to break things up and try things out. And that's what I do. That's all I feed. It used to be Extreme, but I know Extreme's a good food.
It is.
But I don't want to buy. I can't remember what it is for those containers. What is it, like $20 for one NLS container, like the square, whatever ounce one?
Yeah, it's like $20 for it.
Yeah. It's like $20. But I do like Extreme Aquatics as food, but I actually took Northfin and Extreme and turned them around, and Northfin has a lot more high quality ingredients in it.
It does. So here's the thing. I got a little bit of a different way of getting fish food than most people do. I have the luxury of one of my buddies actually owning a fish store. So I can buy Northfin food in bulk. They have a store feed program. It's like a 5-pound bag. I can buy that.
Is he a Northfin dealer?
He's not a Northfin dealer, no. He sells Northfin products, but he doesn't. I mean, he's not.
Maybe I worded that wrong because
he's a vendor of Northfin.
There you go. Northfin only sells to wholesalers. So if he's a wholesaler, then he will get it. Yeah, Sean, that's what I did. I was getting so much food. I got these 2.5 gallon food grade buckets from Lowe's, and I just mixed. I got one for flake and one for pellets, and I can go around with one bucket, feed all my fish, and mix them up in there. And what I do is this.
Morning, Berto.
I just take from the bucket of pellets into a smaller old Extreme container I had, and I'm mixing it here. So it's much easier to walk around with this little container than it is a 2.5 gallon bucket. And I just always label what's in there. This has got the Northfin Cichlid, the Bug Pro sticks, the Bug Pro pellets, the Krill Pro, NLS Cichlid, and NLS Tropical all in one. I can go around and feed this to all my fish. They love it. Apart from the fancy goldfish, they get bloat so easy. I cannot give them this stuff. It bloats them up. Too much protein. So I have to be very careful because right now I got angelfish in with them dang goldfish. So I got to be careful how I feed them. Yeah, once these fancy goldfish go, I'm not getting any more.
I can understand that.
Dude, I don't have issues with any of my fish, any of them. The fancy
Except for
goldfish,
goldfish.
they're always bloating up. The fancies, I've had regular goldfish, and they're tanks. But these fancy goldfish, because the way they're designed, they're all compact. Their organs are close together. They get bloat and iCloud so easy.
Oh no, Garcia's got a problem. He said all of his fish are wet. What should he do? Get a towel, dry them off.
Yeah, get a brawny.
Yeah, you know what, man? Maybe a hair dryer, blow dryer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something. I didn't even work dry.
Go get your leaf blower. You know, dry them off with the 100-mile-an-hour wind. They'll be good.
It's good to see you, Garcia. I see you called me yesterday too, brother. I didn't get a chance to pick it up. I apologize. And you called me too.
Yeah, mine was not that important. iCloud UV fixes it.
You know what else fixes it? 30-minute Epsom salt baths. But the Epsom salt bath also at the same time is going to help the bloat.
I got a goldfish on its way out. It's my oldest goldfish. He's doing death circle. He'll do it a couple of times and then swim normal for a day or so, then do the death circle again, then swim normal for a day or so. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're on your way out. But
yeah,
he's
that's a neurological thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had fish with that. I feel so bad for him.
Like I want to put him out of his misery, but he keeps eating. You know what I mean? And then he acts normal. He doesn't death circle all the time.
Yeah, but eventually it'll be all the time until he goes, right?
When he death circles all the time, then I'll go ahead and do what you got to do. I'll euthanize him.
But I did not know UV fixed iCloud. That's interesting information. Now, how do you euthanize your fish?
There's two different ways. All right. I do it. Some people use chemicals like clove oil. You know what I mean? They'll put them out peacefully. Some people will, you can honestly do it with Melafix. Melafix will put a fish out peacefully. Blunt force trauma to the head is faster.
That's what I've done in the past. I just took him outside and just cut the damn head off. Real quick. Done. Boom. Gone.
This is brutal, man. I put mine in like I save the bags I get my fish from.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put them in the bag, and I have a spot in the basement that is solid concrete, and it's just one go. What? They're done.
Done. Yep.
It's over with.
No muss, no fuss, no more suffering. I mean, if it's going out, it's better than letting it sit there in the tank and suffer till it dies, right?
Correct. So then I take them, and I have a pet cemetery in the backyard.
I do too, kind of. They go over my back fence into the woods, and I can go back there a couple hours later or the next day, and it's gone, whether a fox got it or what. You know what I mean? We got fox back there. There's some coyotes running around. Snakes. Oh, let's see. What Garcia, that's not the first time you said that. I know it. Discus says, get iCloud. My Discus get iCloud easy. I was medicating it away all the time. After I installed strong UVC, problem went away. I don't need use meds anymore. Bacteria in the water column is the cause. Right. I do have one of those green, what do they call it? I haven't used it never. The green killing machine. That's got a UV light. I'm assuming that would be something I could use.
I don't know.
Does UV light kill phosphates? Does it kill nutrients in for the plants? Because I know they use it to clear up algae blooms.
I think I don't know if running UV in a tank that has plants in it is a good thing or not. You would have to ask Tommy on that one.
Yeah, I would need a 25 watt, and I can't remember which one I have. I think it's up there. I gotta look. I can't remember. I think it's the 9 watt. I'd have to go get the big one.
Well,
Yeah,
sir,
just-
I have a couple things I need to take care of. I wanted to swing up here and hang out with you for a bit.
Okay. That sounds
So
good.
I've got to go unload my minivan.
Okay.
I got all the wife's shit in it, so it's got to go.
Okay, Sean. Okay, buddy. I got you. Appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me. Always enjoy it.
All right, sir. I will talk to you.
Yes, sir. GM Ever Happy Birthday Squash. Make sure you guys, he's got live streams created. Go over to his, if you can, during the day, on a TV, on your computer, whatever the case may be. Maybe you have a spare phone. Bring up his live streams and let them play. He needs some watch time hours. He's about to lose monetization. We don't make a lot on YouTube, but every $100 to a couple $100 helps just by making videos. So if you guys can help him out, get those playlists of his up there and just put them on play all. Just let them play in the background. John uses UV. The only time UV would be bad for plants as if the UV has access to the roots or plants. Okay, so as long as they're under the soil substrate. Play plants that bury roots underground do that because they hide the roots from the sunlight. The sunlight can kill off the microbial organisms that help maintain the plants. Okay. I got one UV thing, and that's like what I said. That's just the green killing machine. I had an algae bloom one time, and I know how to deal with algae blooms. I got that machine literally just to try it, get some experience, see what it could do for a YouTube video. And unfortunately, it wasn't a big enough one. It was a 9 watt. I really couldn't handle the algae bloom that I had. I just did water changes and got rid of it, and a little bit of patience. I made a reefer friend go on freshwater. Okay. He uses reefer UVC on his planet tank. I have never seen a more perfect planet. So a UV. So what's a UVC light? Yeah, the 9 watt does not cut it. Yeah, you got to get a big one. Now, let me ask you this. Fluval sells an inline UV light you can put right in the canister filter. I'm not sure the wattage of that. You guys know anything about that one? Is that worth it? Getting the inline Fluval UV light? And I got something else to run by you guys. UCC is a rating that will kill bacteria and pathogens. Okay. Who else is mad that Aquarium Co-op got rid of their pump for this? They went to the damn measuring cup. This used to come with a pump. I like the pump. Who else is not happy with this? PJ says, I have one of those Fluval light, but could only find one on eBay. I thought it was totally worth it. Okay, and you're still running it, P-Tag? Sean says you need at least 13 watts or higher for a UV to cut it, make it worth it. They sell that separately now, and that's what I mean. I think that's crap. Luckily, I have some around here from past purchases, and just so you guys, in case you didn't know, the what is it? The Thrive pump that comes with the fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, works on Corey's bottle, and it also works on Vitachem bottle. But there, he's making you buy that dang pump separately now. I think that's crap. Who else is mad about that? If you like Aquarium Co-op without the pump, then F you. That's right, sweet Polly. Brent says, doesn't bother me. I have pumps from past bottles. Yeah, same. They got rid of them because too many people apparently don't know how to use the pump, break them. Oh, boy. Really? So that's what I mean. Why do we cater to stupid people? Why are we? I shouldn't say it that way. They're not stupid. But why are we catering to Darwin Award winners? We'll say it that way. I think if I remember right, you twist it to unlock it like a lot of things, and then you pump one pump for 10 gallons of water. You're good. I can go around and dose all my tanks in under a minute. You're done. Now I gotta I got a freaking measure, but like Branton, I have some pumps laying around. The bulb I use cost $20. I run it for 24/7 last month. Okay. Hit that. Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Disposable unit. It dies $20. Get one next day. Oh, I got you, North. So just because North is a big fan of UV, I think Joy of Fish Keeping put a video out about UV as well. Not Darwin Awards winner. That was the wrong way to say that too. Or was it? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I like that pump. Yeah, Jose is switching all his tanks to UV, right? Yeah. I did go ahead and get another aquarium co-op fertilizer because I wanted to give my plants a boost. I don't do CO2. I don't do anything special. I just do the liquid ferts. It does seem to help the plants a little bit. It's nothing crazy good, but it's better than they were. But my plants could lose. All my tanks could use a little sprucing up. I think I need to work with the lighting a little bit better lighting, a little bit better plant, help with the plants. So I didn't know if UV might help with that. It was something I was going to try out. I wanted to get that Fluval inline one. I don't know how many watts. How many watts is that, P-Tag? Let's just call them uneducated masses. That sounds good, Branton. Yeah, the only downside I can even possibly conceive about UV is that it kills bacteria, which means it's not going to differentiate. Right. That and there's been videos out about that, I believe, Tommy, about how much bacteria it kills off as far as good versus bad. Try it with one of your tank. One of your what's a UMP tank, Sean? $20 experiment. Just pop it in the last stage of pump and shield location. 6 watts. It only kills bacteria in the water column. Okay. Yes, but so I'm like the green killing machine, for instance. It's actually bringing water in, and it goes around a UV ball before it goes in. So even though it's killing the good bacteria in the water column, it's still going in. Well, it's separate, so it's not a part of the filter. Now, I could see that being a problem with maybe the Fluval inline UV light. Then, if it's sucking water in and in line with the canister filter, it's killing good bacteria before it ever reaches the canister filter. Could that, or maybe I'm thinking too much into it. I doubt it kills enough good bacteria to become a problem. Would that be correct? So it's only a 6 water. Okay. There you go, Sean. Hey, Ross, good to see you. P-Tech says, I've been running the UVC clarifier for almost a year and still haven't replaced the bulb. Run it 24/7. Okay. And we got, what's up, buddy? Can't hear you. No video. Oh, he's up here. You there, buddy? Oh, we lost him. Yeah, I'm not arguing with you. This gets here, not at all. I'm just laughing, just trying to find something negative about it when there's really not. You need OBS? I don't use OBS. No, okay, guys. I got to get to those next segments this weekend, Tommy. I got them. I got my little DIY teleprompter set up right here, better than ever. I upgraded it. So we're going to get them recorded, pal. We're ahead of the game at the Aquatic News Network. If you guys aren't subbed to the Aquatic News Network, you need to subscribe to it. Get us up there. We need to get some more subs. And if you don't, then you just you. I did turn off the Nightbot. That was getting annoying. What do you guys think? Should we bring the Nightbot back or get rid of the little bastard? Let me know. I could bring him back and just have one thing I want to come up and span it out, but the Nightbot was getting on my last nerve. Thank you, Brandon, for sharing that link. Appreciate you. Yeah, the dang Nightbot. I like it. It's a useful tool for sure. But if you have multiple things up all the time, it gets on, I think, everybody's last nerve. Some people stream have that thing coming up like every 10 seconds. I just want to like. Might not be the Nightbot, but there's other versions. I like standing up streaming. So we talked about the aquarium co-op Easy Green bottle, getting rid of their pump, making you buy it separate, bastards. Talked about a lot of things earlier on, hard to rehash, but it's better than putting a poll and pop up every time you join chat. Oh yeah, that's true, Pete. That drives me up the wall. Personally, I can't stand that. And it's always in your face. Like if you leave and come back, there it is again. You got to close, poll, dismiss, close, dismiss. Jesus. Does Nightbot count as activity in chat? I don't think so. No, I use it because it just automatically pops crap up. You can put links in it, and actually you can do things where any moderators, you can make it to where the moderators can interact with it and do things automatic. It's a great streaming tool. Hey, buddy.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Hey, now that I got you up here, what is it that I'm looking at? It looks like you're behind an aquarium. I've been seeing that lately.
Yeah, it works better at nighttime. I wasn't prepared. My cameras were all unplugged, so I apologize for that. But
oh, it's all right.
What I do is in OBS, I run two cameras, then I put them on top of each other, and then I set the transparency down so that they show through each other.
Okay.
That way I don't have to split my screen to show my fish and make myself small.
So it kind of makes you look like you're in your tank.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're fish guys, so
right.
I thought it was neat. Well,
yeah.
Give me 1 sec here.
You get that coat off. He's getting serious. Shit's going down. You guys, you're not prepared for this.
So, okay. What I was trying to type is you're asking about the Fluval. It's only 6 watts, but I'm sure they're using a really high quality bulb because it gets pretty good results. But from all my research, 6 watts will not kill pathogens. It's only going to deal with your algae and make your water look clear, but it's not going to stop cloudy eye, for example. Cloudy eye is normally caused by bacterial pathogens in the water. Now, someone said, oh, well, you don't want to kill your beneficial bacteria, but that's where people get confused. Nothing beneficial lives in your water column. So any bacteria that's living in your water column is competing with your actual beneficial bacteria that should be sticking to all your surfaces.
Right.
Okay. So when you run a UV and you eliminate all the competition for resources for actual beneficial bacteria, then your beneficial bacteria population actually increases and thrives because it's not competing with something that's useless in your tank.
Right.
So there's absolutely the only downfall to UV is it's a little dangerous if you don't use it properly. You can blind yourself, right? Depending on the unit you buy. I'm buying the cheap one that's dangerous because I'm cheap and I don't have a lot of money. The expensive ones are $400 to $1,000 per unit, and then the replacement bulbs are like $80 to $200 each, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
These little cheap China guys I use are way stronger than any of those $400 guys. And they only cost $20. They're shaped exactly they're built exactly like an aquarium heater. I think they actually used aquarium heater technology to bring the price down. They put them together and when they die, you just throw them out and change them. Problem is they're not shielded, but you can buy little shields for them. And
Right.
what you're meant to do is stick them in your sump. You don't want to put them anywhere where life is.
Okay.
So you stick them down in your sump where nobody's going to see it. I just throw it in my sump behind some sponges
Right.
to protect myself.
Okay.
And $20, it's 13 watts. It will literally sterilize your water column. It's you got UV that kills just algae. Then you got UV that that will make things infertile. That's really the $4,000 to $500 units do that. And then UVC literally destroys the cells. It literally breaks. It'll kill shit.
Right.
So the cheapest way to get UVC strength is these $20 Chinese bulbs. There's no need to spend $1,000.
That raises a question for me, and I look at like humans, like, let's take a cold. You get a cold, your immune system learns about it, fights it, and the next time it is safe against that strain, your body.
Mhm.
So if you have a UV light that's killing all the competing bacteria for the beneficial bacteria, you're kind of turning your good bacteria into a sissified version of its former self.
No.
So what if something gets introduced back in and it's not used to having to fight or become immune or learn it, therefore now it's weaker? So let's say something gets introduced, it could totally be annihilated. Wouldn't
My
that be
discus
true?
could never figure out how to conquer cloudy eye with their immune systems.
Right.
It went on. I treated with medicine for several months, and I couldn't defeat it. The bacteria that was causing the problem in my water column wasn't going to die off using medicines in my tank. I guess it was getting inside, down into my substrate and hiding from the treatment. I don't know.
Right.
But after the treatment would go away, the cloudy eye come right back. And I dealt with that like all last spring and most of last summer until I put in a strong enough bulb. And then I was using every kind of med in the book.
Right.
Couldn't defeat it. The UV killed everything in my water column. The problem stopped. The problem hasn't come back. If I stopped using UV, and it was only affecting certain discus, not all my discus, because some could resist it. But I was taking heavy losses because of it regardless.
Right.
And even if my stronger discus were resisting it, their immune systems were still being taxed. They're still
Right.
fighting it.
Right.
They just weren't showing signs. And that's going to slow growth, which is important to a discus guy that's growing fish, because anything that taxes their immune system you're going to lose progress in your first 15 months of growth. And they
Right.
only have 15 months of growth. So it's a bit of a different game, right? But
Right. Plus,
um,
you're dealing with a lot more expensive fish than I am too, so I can totally understand it. So you run it 24/7, and you're not having an issue now.
yeah. And the alternative was hundreds of dollars of medication versus a $20 UV bulb.
Right. And then Branton has a question for you here.
Sean, can we get a link to the one you use? Yeah, let me go look at that for you. I don't think I can link in the channel though, but
Are you a moderator?
I'm gray, I believe.
Well, let me make you a mod real quick.
Okay. I'm just heading over to my Amazon here to get you the link. $20, next day delivery. And again, if you buy this, it is dangerous. Make sure you shield it somehow. Do not put it directly in your tank. Your fish will all be dead in an hour.
So it has to go in a sump.
Well, I put it in
or
the
shield
sump,
it.
or you could make like a PVC sleeve for it, right? Put the two caps on the end, drill up one cap, buy a $10 one of those power heads that you stick in like under gravel filters to increase the flow. Stick one of those in one end, drill some angled holes in the other end so the light is not escaping, and it'll suck water in, pass the bulb, and shoot it out. And then you could just get a couple suction cups and a couple tie wraps, put it up high in your tank because the cord's not very long, up in the back in the middle, and just let it run there. All together with the power head, the bulb, it probably cost you $35 to make it.
Well, here's an interesting thing. Could you stick it right in a hang in the back?
Yes, that's actually Schiff's Discus did that. he bought a hang in the back that was large enough to accommodate the bulb.
Okay, AC
And then
110 or something.
He put it in there between a whole bunch of sponges.
Mm-hmm.
So the water runs through the sponges, passes by the bulb, runs through some more sponges, goes over the top, and it's working just fine for him.
Yeah, because ideally you could do the same thing with a canister filter, but the problem is you have no way to get the cord in and out.
That's there it is, because they're sealed units, right?
Right.
Although the Sun has an unscrew thing on the top where you could probably feed your
But that's, you guys heard me talk before. I'm not a huge fan of hanging the backs, but I still run them as backup, and they're great for maybe you want to run some chemical filtration, but you don't want to have to worry about cracking open a canister filter to change them. Keep a hanging the back. Same with this
where my
UV
chemical
light.
filtration is. It's in my hanging backs.
Yeah. So hanging the backs are a great like tap to tap into your aquarium system. They give you a space to do stuff like that.
Yeah, great thing to mention, by the way. Yeah, if you don't want to use a sump and you have what you need, like a canister, just put a hang-on back on and stick your light in.
Right.
There's
That's a good idea.
link to the unit.
Yeah, and exactly, you can sandwich that bad boy behind some sponge filters and hide it so you're not getting exposed to the light, and neither are the fish. So perfect.
Yeah, cheap solution. You don't have to spend $500. You'll have the clearest water you've ever known.
Yeah, I have to check that leak. Let me get back over here on my second one.
I tend to overwhelm people. Don't worry.
No. It's not that. Because I go through StreamYard, so you can't see links. Like, or can I?
Oh, sorry. I put it right into YouTube for them.
That's fine, because anyone that's actually watching through YouTube can click it, and that's why I'm bringing my live up on my second monitor.
Let me put it over here. And
so see, now I can click your link, and it brings me right to it, and I'll keep that up over here. I see it.
Okay.
I see it on Amazon, $20. That's the ones you use.
Yeah, and they work. It's a solid unit. And I ran the first one for like 4 months, and I just changed it the other day. But I put the old one down in the Oscar tank because it still works. But I want to make sure I have a strong one in my discus tank. So
I'm gonna bring it up.
And I mean, go look at my water. It's just, and then go back 6 months and look at my water. It's night and day.
Right. And there I put your UV light up on screen there.
Yep. It's actually black on the top and the bottom. That picture is not exactly right, but you know, they all work. It looks just like an aquarium heater. It's about the same length as an aquarium heater. And it just blasts. It's bright too. Like, you definitely don't want to look at it.
Roxen. Are they called Roxen?
And there's other versions out there. If you want to use a timer, I run mine 24/7. But like for $5 more, they got them with timers, so you can do it 3 hours a day, or in 3 hour intervals, 6 hour intervals, 12 and 24.
Okay. And you just keep yours running though.
Yeah, I leave mine running 24/7 because pathogens that tend to float in your water column, they multiply rapidly within minutes in most cases. So if you run your UV 4 hours a day, you're still giving them 20 hours to multiply and harm your fish. So I just run it 24/7 because it's $20. Who cares? It lasts months, and it's way cheaper than the meds I was buying previously. I was medicating every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And a lot of discus keepers find they have to medicate every 2-3 weeks. But if you run UV, I don't need medicines in anymore. They're in my drawer just sitting there, probably going to rot.
Yeah. I keep medicines. Brenton, yeah, you might. I may have lost a video because I shared the screen, but I got rid of it. So that might be my bad. But I've been having that issue lately. But yeah, I got meds here, man. API, all the different API meds and stuff. I haven't had to use them in a long time. Meds are expensive. I have been finding Epsom salt or regular salt keeps most stuff at bay, but when you get into more serious things, like would this UV bulb take care of ick? Let's say I have an Oscar that got ick. I slap UV bulb and a HOB on there. Would that fix ick?
Well, if it now, it will stop ick in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had a huge outbreak already, it will definitely help you fight it.
Okay.
But I would also use meds, a combination. It'll fix hole in the head.
Mm-hmm.
UV will fix hole in the head, like straight up fix it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like as long as it's not really progressed. If it's really progressed, I would use some metronidazole with it. But if it's just starting and you kick in like a high 13 watt and above UVC, it'll stop the hole in the head, because the hole in the head's being created by bacteria that's in free floating style bacteria in the water column.
Right.
So you keep your water column clear. It looks nice. It's free of pathogens, which is a bonus to your fish because their immune systems aren't being attacked. So that they're going to grow better. They're going to eat better. You won't see cloudy eye anymore. You won't ever get hole in the head.
Mm-hmm.
All those sorts of problems will just be a thing of the past.
Have you ever thought about contacting this company and seeing if they would become a sponsor of your channel or promote their videos, and you might be able to get some of their products for free?
The question about the UV and the medicine depends on the medicine. UV normally doesn't affect things like vitamins and minerals and things like that. So like it won't affect anything you do with your planted tanks, for example. But some medicines will be affected by light. So if you have a medicine that says shut the lights off while you're using it, the UV is going to destroy that medicine and make it ineffective. So you would want to unplug your UV.
Okay.
But then you run your meds for 2 days and then you kick your UV back in after your water change, right? So that the bacteria doesn't repopulate and your problem goes away.
Right. Now that's cool information. I appreciate you coming up and sharing that.
Yeah.
Taking the time to share that.
No problem. No problem.
I don't think you've ever been on one of my live streams that I recall.
I don't think I've been on one of your live streams yet. No, I've been on a few other people. I'm kind of shy about the live streaming, even on my
Are you really?
channel. I don't do it too often.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you came up.
But I'll let you get back to your show. I just wanted to verbally explain it because I'm horrible at typing, and
you can stay on if you'd like.
I need a cigarette, to be honest.
Okay, buddy.
So I'm gonna go get that done, and maybe I'll pop back in later, give someone else a chance. And
I'll be on for about another 30 minutes, and I'll be jumping off.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Thank you, buddy.
I'll be watching. Thanks. Where is this?
Very cool. Very cool. Learning a lot. I love them live streams where I learn a lot. The X out of that. Very cool. I brought that up on the live stream as well, so I can go back, find it, and I could probably copy and paste that link as well. Yeah, thank you guys. No, that's some good information. I got to do something. Maybe I remember get me a couple of those and try it out myself. I got hang in the back running already. Clear some of this water up. Bet you it takes care of blackbeard algae. Ooh, do you think it takes care of blackbeard algae, Sean? I hate a blackbeard algae. Although, I don't want to upset the way I do things either, because I've always said less is best. I don't mess in my tanks a lot. I don't mess around. I let algae and blackbeard algae build up on the back of aquarium. Unfortunately, they build up everywhere else too. But I never have issues. I'd hate to completely sterilize everything and then wind up with issues. You know what I mean? If that would happen, I don't know. Because I have these natural environments going in that I never mess with. I just clean the front and side panels, let things grow. I don't necessarily get all the uneaten food and crap out when I do maintenance. I let it break down. I got lots of plants in there. So I don't know how that would play into things, but it's definitely something I'd like to try. I get one, put it probably my worst aquarium and give it a go. So, but actually I said 30 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and jump off now. We've been on for an hour and a half. I got some things to take care of. So I appreciate you guys, and the numbers are slowly dropping. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I certainly appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. It's always enjoyable. So I will see you guys later. Love the questions, love the input, love the interactions. And we'll see you guys out in the field. Thanks again.